Beautiful people, family, kin, and community, what is up? And welcome to Code Journal, your cosmic playground and sacred container for all things love, peace, beauty, softness, ease, and pleasure. Oh, our pleasure is necessary. Our pleasure is urgent. Our pleasure is that portal into these new timelines and these new identities that await us. Today, I want to speak about grief. Grief came up for me this morning while I was doing a personal reading, and I quickly wanted to bring that up here today because we have to talk about grief, about the role it plays in our metamorphosis, how grief catalyzes us into these new timelines, these new identities, these new versions of ourselves. Do we speak about grief enough when it comes to timeline jumping and quantum leaping? Because we should. We should. So much loss occurs when we are shifting. Life is characterized by loss. So is a quantum leap. So is a quantum jump. And then the question becomes, what is it that you're willing to lose? What are you willing to lose? Because when we want things and we want a life and we're making things, we have to be really intentional about what we're taking with us and what we are leaving behind. And it's the stuff that we have to leave behind that I want to address today. Why is grief important on this journey? Why is it important for us to hold space for who we once were? Why is it important for us to use grief as a portal, use grief as food, use grief as nourishment for the people that we are becoming? The thing about loss is it creates an empty space. It creates a space where nothing at the moment is occupying your life. And that can feel very scary. It can feel very isolating. You may wonder, where is it that I am going? Who am I? And again, to win some, you have really got to lose some. And we have to be really honest about that as well. I feel like with quantum leaping and quantum jumping and manifestation, everybody always just like, I want this, I want that. And desire is good. It's good, but what are you willing to lose to step into the frequency of that thing? Do you understand what I'm saying? What are you willing to lose to become the person who is capacious enough to hold that thing? That's what quantum leaping is for me. I couldn't be bothered about what it is that I want. Of course, I want the juicy things, the delicious things, but the work is really reconfiguring myself internally to hold the frequency of that thing. And that's what loss facilitates. That's what grief facilitates. That empty space, that silence, that eerie stillness that comes after you've decided, you know what, I'm putting this version of myself down. Or in my case, after life decides we're putting this version of you down for you, for your own good. Because woo, November of 2023. It might have started in September. That's why I keep saying September, because I keep saying September 2023. But November of 2023 was a very, very intense time for me. I began, my spiritual initiation, my soul initiation, and I lost everything. When I tell you, it just kept happening in waves. It started with a job. I took a voluntary retrenchment for that. I moved from the city I was living in back home. I confronted a breakup, and then the years that followed that, which were 2024 and 2025, I was still shedding. I don't know, man, I have moved twice since then. I've lost all, and I mean all, the friends I had. Woo! When I say that was an identity shift, that was like it really felt like we're changing gears and very abruptly, like a big tower moment. And I had to sit with that loss for a very, very long time. And in that loss, new things were being planted in me. New things were being birthed in me. I didn't understand it then. I didn't know what was happening then. But I'm at a point now in my life where I can grieve the person I once was. Because that's the thing as well about coming into these new timelines, right? It's like you want this thing and you want that thing and it feels good, but there are certain dreams that you have to put down, certain versions of yourself that you have to put down, certain goals you have to put down, certain hopes and possibilities that you had to put down. When I was in, my previous life, because that's a previous life, I can't even relate to the person I was anymore. I don't even have anything that belongs to that person. The change was radical, so radical that I had to give away about like 99% of my clothes. I kept what I had to wear because I had to have some clothes to wear. When I was in that life, I had dreams. I had a different career path set out for me. I resonated with certain people and certain spaces and certain things. And I saw a future within that timeline, within that identity. And when you quantum leap, when life says it is time for us to get going, it's time for you to be who you say you are, who your soul knows you to be, who your higher self knows you to be, you put that stuff down. And that is what we have to grieve. Because when we take those dreams and those visions that are stale and outdated because we're no longer those people, we create an energetic imbalance. And we ask ourselves why we aren't fully tethering ourselves and anchoring ourselves to the new timeline. And that is because we're still holding on to those old dreams, those old people. We're still holding on to those goals that they just don't resonate with us anymore. A dream is a very selfish thing. A dream is it's me or nothing, right? And you can't have two dreams that speak to two different people. There's going to be the dream of the self that you are stepping into and the dream of the person that you once were. And the new person is really not at all concerned with the dreams of the old person. And that's where grief comes in, where you have to grieve yourself. I encountered someone on YouTube. I don't remember who this creator was, but this person sort of brought up the idea of attending your own funeral. And I resonated with that so much. That old self, that old person with their dreams, with their people, with their lives, you have to really bury them. There needs to be a rite of passage. There needs to be, I know who the creator was, Inner Mileage, Dr. Nana. I can't remember his surname, but what a powerful creator. Yeah. You have to put yourself down. You have to, funerals are a rite of passage for a reason. You have to put your old self down and realize that person, they're not here anymore. And you don't owe them anything anymore. And it's scary to be in a body without knowing what the contents of that body are, what the dreams of that body and that person occupying that body are, right? But you have to put that body down. You have to put that person down, rather, not that body. You have to put the person down, the dreams down, the life down, the identity down. And that funeral is just going to allow your mind to sit with the reality that you are now a different person and you have been reborn and you have the right to grieve what is now gone. And even if it manifests, right, even if that dream finds its way into your new life, you won't hold it the same way. You don't have the same hands, you don't have the same mind, you don't have the same perception, the same discernment. For a lot of us, we are being born again at this time. We have been born again. We're like babies. We're adults. We're in adult bodies, but we're actually babies. We know nothing about who we are, and that is bliss for me because I'm tired of knowing. I don't want to know anything. The only thing that I want to know, the only knowing that I want to carry is the knowing that love is for me, peace is for me, life is for me, pleasure is for me, ease is for me. That's the only knowing that I want to nurture and nourish and cultivate. But the knowing of control, the knowing of what the next step is going to be, the knowing of I'm not interested. I am as a child, I am curious, I am open, I am receptive, I am perceptive, I am awestruck by everything in my new life. And however, there are still the remnants of the old life. And again, grief is that part of us that says, oh my God, see me. And I do think we need to, pay homage to the people we were. Those people were valid. Those people were beautiful. Those people deserve our love as well. Those people built a whole life. I mean, the self I was, that girl built herself brick by brick, and I love her to bits. But I also realized that she could only take me so far. And that allows me to grieve her. I give myself permission to grieve her when I realized that I would have done her a disservice if I continued to pull her into this place where, in this new world, in this new earth, in this new timeline, she has no place. She has no place, I can tell you that for free. And that version of yourself that you had to put down, they had, limits. They could not come with you into this new earth. So let's talk. How are you going to use grief to change your life? Number one, you are going to put the dreams down, the identity down, the person down with love. You have to do it with love, not with like, oh, you're so bad, negative self-talk and anything. Like I said, you got yourself so far. That person did so well. The person you once were, they did so well. They did what they could with what they had, and they did amazing. But you've got to put that person down and grieve them with love and allow their dreams to fade away, allow their hopes to fade away, allow the things that they thought they wanted to fade away. Number two, this is my favorite one. You're going to get uncomfortable. Grief is very uncomfortable frequency and feeling and emotion to hold, right? It's like, but you're going to sit in that. Because when you sit in that, you're going to allow the process to unfold without you interfering, without you trying to obstruct, the wealth of the process. Grief is part of the birthing process. When a person is pregnant, right? The pregnant person and the mother or the parent who births the child aren't the same people. A lot of moms will tell you they grieve who they were before they were mothers, because motherhood changes you completely. Motherhood changes you completely. So you are also allowed to just, you're allowed to be uncomfortable. You're allowed to sit in that discomfort, and it's normal. It's normal. You ought to sit in it because it's normal. It doesn't make you like, oh, it's not about your attachment. It's not about, oh my goodness, I can't let go. I'm struggling to let go. Da, 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 da. It's normal. It's normal, but you have to sit in the discomfort because discomfort is fertile. It's fertile. All those feelings of, you are creating space in your body to hold more than just that discomfort. You're creating space to hold the pleasure and the ease that you have been yearning for. And had you continued as that person you were, your capacity for pleasure and ease, your capacity for the life that you truly want deep down would have remained the same. You had to change your identity to expand your capacity. That's the only way we expand. That is the only way we expand. Any expansion that happens while we're still the same people, I'm not going to say is invalid in any way, shape, or form, but there are limits to that. We don't go beyond and traverse the limitations of who we are. Number three, you're going to see grief as a sign of life. Grief is what the living are left with. And you're living. And you're living beyond the part of you that had to perish. You are living beyond the part of you that had to perish. So you're still here. You, my darling, my beautiful darling, are still here despite that shedding and that purging and the intensity of really, it's like undressing yourself, stepping out of yourself. That was a lot. But you're still here. You're still breathing. That is proof of life, but not just proof of life, proof of the joy that cometh in the morning, proof of the joy that awaits you, proof of the love that awaits you. That is already here. You have been pulled into this new timeline and this new version of yourself because there's just so much love here. There's so much peace here. There's so much pleasure here. There's so much softness here. There's so much community here. You get to do more. You've got a little bit more room here, a little bit more space. And lastly, you're going to make friends with emptiness. Loss and grief necessitate emptiness. They precipitate emptiness, and emptiness is a good thing. It is a good thing to not know. It is a good thing to be still. It is a good thing to be silent. In the nighttime, when we're all sleeping and the roads are empty, life still continues. Life continues while we are asleep. Life continues while we are still, while we are empty. While everything is empty, the malls are empty, the places are empty, workspaces are empty, that's when life is still happening. Emptiness is not an absence of life. So get comfortable with your emptiness. Embrace your emptiness. Say yes to emptiness. Be excited that you get to grieve something, that you've lost something, because it means you get to gain. You are in the perfect position right now to receive, to gain, to create. This is your time to recreate yourself, to reinvent yourself. You've been asking for that opportunity, and that is why that version of you is no longer here. And you said yes to that opportunity, and that is why you are here. And that is why you get to grieve. You get to attend your own funeral. You get to sit in discomfort. You get to anticipate goodness, anticipate pleasure, anticipate love, anticipate peace. Expect it. Expect it. This is the new earth, people. A new earth need new people. We don't have to leave our bodies anymore, to relinquish and renounce our bodies, to converge and align with universal law, with cosmic law, with the creator, with source, with the quantum. Previously, in the previous iteration of spirituality on this earth, freedom arrived by way of physical death. Now we are having to learn to purge and die while we are still in these bodies, and that is very complicated. It's complex, it's intricate, but it's also so beautiful because we still get to use these bodies to love and rejoice and create and play and embody pleasure, embody our higher selves. Your higher self couldn't do anything with that person. Your higher self is an entirely new person operating under an entirely different system that you do not know. And that person and your higher self were not in alignment. That person had to leave the room so your higher self can have your body to use. Welcome home to yourself. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. And if you had to lose, if you have to grieve to get here, I hope you do it again and again and again, because I would. I would, honey, without trepidation, without hesitation, without apprehension. I'm using all the synonyms here. I would do it. I'd say yes, just so that I could meet who I am on the other side. And if it means I have to sit in discomfort and, attend my own funeral and say goodbye to the dreams I once had, then sign me up for that, because we are here to really embody the fullest versions of who we are. And I know for a lot of people, who you were, the person was living from a small portion of what you're actually capable of what you actually have space to do and to carry and to be. All right, so you've spoken about grief, you've spoken about loss. This is your time. This is your time. Put it down, put the dream down. It has no place here. And like I said, if it does, you will know. It will manifest and it will find you in a way that is resonant and aligned. But put that person and their dreams and their hopes and their vision down, 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 and say yes to who you now are, because you're going to change the world and we are going to be watching. I love you. See you soon on CoJournal.